Today I'm going to give you my top 10 tips for homeschooling. And by homeschooling in today's world with the pandemic, even if your kids are doing online schooling, it's like you're homeschooling. So whether you're doing a program, you're doing it yourself, or you're doing online at school, I have 10 tips to help everybody make it maybe a little less crazy. So I wanted to show you my school that I've created. It's called MIT Academy, Mom is Teaching Academy. Come on, let me show you what I've done. So the first place we start when we're setting up a homeschool or trying to homeschool our kids with helping them with online schooling is to figure out the space that you want to do it. And I know last year people had crap everywhere. I had my dining room table taken over. So this year I decided to transfer my garage. I've seen people do closet spaces, a certain bedroom area, a corner. Depending on how much space you have, it's really important to keep everything there so you don't feel like it's taking over your whole life. The other component of that, if you have different kids that have different needs, you may want just a special room, a Zoom room. So we have a special area just with a desk and a computer in there, and that's where the kids will Zoom if they needed that, so that it's nice and quiet, while other teaching and other kids can be doing other activities in a more loud space. So come on into my classroom. First, what you want, regardless of where you're doing, is you want all your kids to have all the supplies they need. So when they sit down to work, you're not wasting time. Oh, I need a pencil. Oh, it broke. I need a sharpener. I need to get this. No, you've got everything. So I'm a big fan of caddies. There's all sorts of types. They're not expensive. Over here, all my kids picked out their own caddy. We decorated them to get them excited. They all have their names and the font that they wanted on the front. And depending on their age group, you want to have them with water and pencils. They all have a pencil box, erasers, tissues, Post-it notes, index cards, earphones for when they're doing some Zooming or some online work, a pencil sharpener. Also in the mornings, what I'm going to be doing is you put their snack right in there. So we're not, oh, I'm hungry on this. No. Morning, just like at school, when you pack a snack for school, you pack a snack in their caddy, and that gets eaten at snack time or whenever, so that's not going to disrupt work as well. The other thing is just whatever area you're in, this is their own personal caddy. Another reason why I like caddies is if they need to move somewhere, they can take their caddy. If they need to change of space, they're going to go do something in another room, they can take their caddy and they're still prepared with all their materials. Another tip is I just went and purchased 2 of these actually. They're charging stations, which my kitchen was getting gummed up with stuff. And as we know with online stuff, there's tablets that are needed, iPads that are needed, lights for their bedrooms, whatever. But to have a charging station so that everything's charged up so that you don't find like, oh, he used the iPad and now there's no juice in it. I can't do my assignment. I can't do what I need, or I can't have a moment of doing some online stuff. So a charging station with lots of charging areas, super important. Every night when school is over, charge everything up for the next day. Another area for, I don't care what age you are, adults included, we all like a reward system. So I have used this. I was a private tutor for over 20 years, and I've used apples, and don't ask me, it started a long time ago. So I have apples when they're doing something, whether I'm one-on-one teaching with them or someone stayed on a Zoom and really focused or what have you. Great job, there's an apple. Or if you do this, there are going to be 2 apples for you. And they collect whatever it is. My sister did something simple. She did check marks. Oh, you got a check mark. You just keep it a tally, whatever works for you. But really incentivize your children so that they're earning something and they get a reward. I have a reward box full of trinkets, stickers, different things. And again, it can be screen time, that they're earning screen time, which is a big one. But some way to keep them on target, to reward them for good behavior and to lessen bad behavior. So I use an Apple system, use check marks, whatever works for you, but it's really great to have some incentive for them. Coming out here, of course, all your pencils, your markers, that goes with supplies, but that's for the whole area. Timers and alarms are super important. And again, this goes across the gamut for ages. If someone needs to be studying in high school for a certain amount of time, with the younger ones, parents can relate to like, when am I done? How much longer do I have to read for? So this is our box of timers. I have a couple of kids, so we need more than one timer. Simply set it, and they can go off to a reading nook, or they can go wherever they need to go. They can be here, and you're not asking me how much time is left. The buzzer will go off when you're done. Same thing for quiet time when you have little ones. It's important that they need some quiet playtime. Here's your timer. You're going to have 20 minutes, whatever it may be. Timers are super helpful. All my kids have their own folder section, and that's going to have worksheets, other printed out materials that they have. So here, just another place to do some teaching or some art for the kids. And then over here is another area that I have where their books and materials are organized by child, so that it's very easy for them to see all of their things are in one spot, all their books. One tip, especially when you have little ones, is, maybe you have a bookshelf in their bedroom and it's full of books. pull out 5 or 6, put them in the shelf here so that when they're schooling and they say, oh, there's a new book, and then trade them out each week. You can put new coloring books in there, and even for the older kids, maybe some short stories that they can read, but it's something new if they're kind of out of time or they ended something early. Say, oh, go to your copy and find something to do. You can find a workbook or what have you, that's according to their age, and that's their spot for their materials. Okay, so over here I have a nice long table, which is a great workstation for art activities, but it's also where I'm going to be doing one-on-one tutoring and teaching with my kids. For those of you that are not homeschooling, but your kids are doing online schooling, you still may have areas where the kids are like, I don't understand what this is, and so just a spot they know they can come work with you. It's also, if you're a working parent, God bless you during this time, but maybe you can set up in an area that you're working here if that works for you. Some of this too, you're gonna have to figure out what works for you. These are just tips, and not every tip works for every person. But to have a computer here and the kids are kind of in their stations and you're there, if they have a problem, you can help them with it. It's important to have a schedule posted. And again, this is an area where when the pandemic first happened, you guys probably saw people were like, from 9 to 9:15 we do this, from 10 to this we do this. And I think people realized for the first week that was great, and then it collapsed. So schedules are very personal to what works for your family. So I have a bunch of different ones that would work, but that's something that you have to figure out because they can be really, really different family to family. There's not a one size fits all for that. But whatever schedule you do decide, or whatever, even if it's just posting expectations for the day, or a to-do list, or a to-do chart, however you want to do it, make sure that it's posted so all the kids can see. This is the one I have. Again, I'm a mom of 4 and I'm doing full-on teaching. So this is a thing that they're all aware of what's happening at what time. And this actually works for me. Everyone also, I mentioned the bins, each of my children is color coded for this. So one child is blue, her bin is blue, her tutor time, like her expectations are all blue. And that helps the kids to know where they're at, what is theirs, and that helps me quite a bit to understand what I'm teaching, who's doing what at what time. But again, personalize a schedule for you, but just make sure whatever you do come up with to post it so all the kids are on the same page and you're all on the same page time-wise. The other thing that is super important, and maybe we can all relate to this, is when you got this website and you have a this at this time, and where's the password for this and all of that. I have a thing printed out of all of the websites that are appropriate for that child. What is their username? What is their password? It's printed out so that you're not searching all over the place for it. Also, brainstorm with your child on that same sheet. Brainstorm with your child when they don't have anything to do. What are approved things they can do? You can build a card house. You can skateboard. You can draw. You can trace. You can play with Play-Doh. A list age appropriate that you go over with your child and they brainstorm stuff so that if someone's like, I have nothing to do, I don't do this, magnet tiles, whatever. There's a list that they can reference when they don't have anything to do. This is something that they can do, and there's a whole list. Also on that page, I have a list for my older children of books that are age appropriate for them so that when they're getting ready to complete one book or for reading at nighttime, we already have a schedule of other books that we know that they were interested in, and we kind of have brainstormed that together also, and that's all in one spot. The last thing is mental health. And we've all talked about this is so important during this time. And it is really not the number 10 tip, it's the number 1 tip. And that is, I say, read the room. And that's read the room of yourself. What are you feeling? And read the room of your children. And what are their needs? Don't be afraid to take a break. This is not a period of like being competitive, and they're going to be fine. Mental health is most important. So check in with them, how they're feeling. If they need a break, give them a break. If you need a break, you need to have everyone in the room for some quiet time so you can go take a bath, do something to clear your mind, do that. That is number 1 important during this time, that those of us that are going to do well and thrive in life, which is what we all want, are those of us that are taking care of ourselves and taking care of our kids the best that we can. And that's by reading their emotions and giving them what they need. Having said that, I wish everyone good luck. This is a difficult time. It can be a lot of fun also. The last thing I want to do want to say is people are saying, oh, this time is so good. Switch your mind and think, man, this could be a real opportunity for us as families, as learning, to really brainstorm, get organized. And I really do think that maybe some good things can come out of this, but I know it's not easy, and I wish you guys all the best, and you can do it.